thrilled to be able to introduce somebody who really made history this year, and we look forward to much in the many years to come of his contributions to the world. I'm thrilled to introduce to CBST the first openly gay candidate for President of the United States, Mayor Pete Buttigieg, with greetings to us on this Gay Pride Shabbat.
Hi, it's Pete Buttigieg with greetings from South Bend. Shabbat Shalom and Happy Pride. And it feels very good to say both of those things in the same breath. I want to honor and thank Rabbi Kleinbaum for your important work and this whole congregation for the vital work and the meaning that you bring to a moment like this. I believe this is a time when different communities of faith, and in particular, communities of faith that share a progressive vision, have so much to contribute. Around the country and around the world, there is so much that cries out for the kind of moral awakening that so many progressive faith communities participate in and represent. I know that there are so many different faith traditions, and yet so many of them rhyme when it comes to our responsibilities to the world around us, from the Jewish tradition of Tikkun Olam to the teachings in the Christian faith that I belong to, and every faith tradition that points the way toward having us examine how we make ourselves useful to the marginalized and to the oppressed, to identify with those who are outcast by society or in its midst, thirsting for justice. I think that in particular, this is a moment when LGBTQIA plus people of faith have an enormous amount to offer. On one hand, we are uniquely attuned to the ways in which other people's interpretation of their own religion can be used to harm. And yet that doesn't make us allergic to faith, to expressing through faith our vision for how we might better engage one another in the world around us. There is such a rich faith tradition that points the way toward responding to exactly the kinds of moral crises that our country is facing right now. Beginning with the 400-year-long legacy of systemic racism and the anguish across the country, not only over police violence, but all of the different ways in which our nation has failed to demonstrate that Black lives are equally valued. We know that that must change, and all of us can be part of an alliance to bring about the kind of change that needs to happen. Meanwhile, we see communities of color and others disparately affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, a moment that calls us, in my view, not only to pay better attention to what science and medicine have to say than this administration does, but also to pay a deeper attention to the moral responsibility to look after one another and to order our own steps in a way that lightens the journey of others. These are just some of the issues of unbelievable moral urgency that demand that those who have a heart guided by faith tap into the hope and the resilience that it brings to seek to commit ourselves to making the world a better place. I know that's how we feel, certainly here in South Bend. Chasten and I have just celebrated our second wedding anniversary and are so blessed to have been able to do it in my church, something that I know not everyone has the opportunity to do or to enjoy. I'm also reminded of the times that we have visited Shabbat services here in South Bend, where we are so proud of our Jewish tradition here and all of the faith traditions that intersect in our community. The Islamic Society Center here in South Bend has been running food drives ever since the pandemic threatened the food security of so many people in our area. And it's just one example of the kind of work that I know your congregation and so many are doing. And that idea of Shabbat, that idea of pausing, of resting, in a spirit that is not in conflict with the idea of work, but as I understand it, is where we gather our energies, physical and emotional and moral, so that when we do that good work, we come to it with full hearts and with everything that we can offer. That spirit means a great deal and is so timely at a moment like this. We've been robbed of our structures and routines and rhythms in so many ways by this pandemic. But I know that you're creating new ones. And again, it's a great honor and a great blessing to be able to join you for this one. I'm wishing you all the best. I very much look forward to, I hope, a future opportunity to join you in person. But in the meantime, hope that you stay well, hope that you're staying healthy, stay safe, and stay involved. Thank you.